This is my stock 2023 Subaru BRZ. And this is a pile of parts. And this is a racetrack. I know what I just said, but it's not actually all that stock or all that new. I've had it for a few months and I've actually modded it a little bit. But I wanted a goal today. I wanted to go sub 2 minute. More importantly, I wanted to see how far we could go in one day with just a few choice mods. So we have wheels and tires, bucket seat, and big brakes. First things first, set of wheels and tires. Probably the most important mod you could do to any track car. These are Web Sport SA25Rs in 18 by 9.5 plus 45. And these are Yokohama Advent 8009 tires in 265. Pretty wide for this car. It's because, to be honest, I had these tires laying around. Yokohama sent them to me last year, thanks Bill, and I wanted to use them up before I go to our kill setup later in the year. Next up is this Brembo Pista big brake kit. This is hot. On the BRZ, yeah, it's about $4 for this kit. Actually pretty good value for what you get for a big brake kit. 6-piston kit, really lightweight caliper, and you get a much bigger rotor, better pad choices. Finally, Recaro pole position, also sent to us courtesy of Recaro, with a Procar Innovations, better known as PCI seat mount, some of the best stuff you can get. I wanted this seat specifically because it's very comfortable to drive every day. I can get in and out of it pretty easily, but it also looks cool. It has some swag. This just looks dope, and it'll look cool in my car. It can sit like 2 inches lower, just much better. So either we go sub 2 or we trade this piece of shit in for a Versa. Let's go for a baseline lap. I destroyed my tires in the first lap. These tires are not team players, so we're just gonna have to put the tires on before the bucket seat. So I know you're gonna roast me for not putting jack stands under it, but I'm not going underneath the car, and we're just swapping some wheels. This piece of shit off. Fucking. That's how much more tire we're adding to the BRZ. I'm arguing that this is too much tire, but this is what I got, and let's just see how it goes. Another thing, specifically for these, sorry, let me toss this on real quick. These are 5 pounds a corner heavier than the stock setup, which is really far from ideal. Pretty much the global advantage here is more grip. Help cure some of the looseness of the car, except these handle naturally loose. So far, it sounds like I'm disparaging the setup, which I am a little bit. It's not, again, not ideal, but mainly what we're gonna do with this is add a lot of mechanical grip. We're gonna add a ton more cornering speed and braking grip with this sort of setup. I'll be able to brake a lot deeper. I'll be able to corner a lot faster. Probably even brake less for corners just so I can carry more speed. This should lop off the most lap time of any mod today. All right, one more thing before we go out. I have to adjust the dampers. These are adjustable, so what you can do is make them softer or stiffer with a little turn of the knob. Because we're running grippier and wider tires, we're gonna have to turn up the damping to compensate, or else the car will feel too soft, basically. Okay, so it's pretty simple adjusting these kind of dampers. Top of the strut here, take this little dust cap off. You can turn this little knurled knob there. So what I do is I turn them all the way stiff and then work backwards from that. That's what at least the manufacturer of the coilover tells me to do. So for the front, I'm actually gonna go full stiff on this setup. I've tested it before. On the rear, I went -3 on the clicks. So you have a little more softness in the rear, helps the car kind of roll around a bit. And we're ready to go out. Damn! We spun. No good. There's some work to do. Let's try some more stuff. All right, so that didn't go all that well. The lap time just wasn't good. I had a big spin on the outlap.
Damn, you spun.
Really not happy with the behavior of the car today. It's pretty hot, so we're gonna adjust the battle plan a little bit. My friend a couple garages over has some very sticky Hoosier tires that we're gonna try, because I'm not gonna quit on trying to get this lap time. It's just not gonna happen on these tires. For you Gran Turismo players, this is like being on sport hards. Those are being on like racing hards. So let's see how it goes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna toss the bucket seat in to support that extra grip. Swapping the seat, simple enough. Just 4 bolts and you unplug some stuff underneath. Bada bing. Bada boom. And seat, boom. And here is our pole position. Pretty different. You sit a lot lower in the bucket seat. It's fixed. You have all this support that you don't get in that seat. All we have to do is move this guy to that guy. Sweaty boys united. And we have bucket seat. Oh, so much bucket, dude. Look at that. Oh, that is so much nicer. Oh, yes. Okay, we're sitting at the correct height now. Okay, so this is my Hail Mary. My friend Steven Ellis offered me these Hoosier A7s to try out for a lap just so I can get my lap time. I won't be able to fit the Brembos under these. These are an inch smaller wheels. In the name of not quitting and trying to hit my lap time goal, we'll do this and then go back to this setup and try the Brembos that way. So here's the thing, those Yokohamas aren't really lap time tires, they're more like an endurance tire. They're also meant to still be used on the road. So you can see there's a bunch of tread pattern and stuff. The critical thing with these is they're basically slicks. These little grooves are just for DOT compliance, the Department of Transportation, so that these could actually be legal to use on the road. But as you can tell, basically slick tires, a lot more grip. Like I said earlier, it's like we're going from comfort mediums to sport hards to racing hards in Gran Turismo. So something I realized as I'm putting them on is the fitment is much more aggressive. These are less wide, but have more offset, so they poke more. It's definitely gonna rub, but in the name of the lap, we're gonna do it. Wheels and tires are on, bucket seat is in, so I definitely should feel better in the car. I've never actually driven on Hoosiers. I have driven on slicks before, but these are a little different to that. They're gonna be quicker, no doubt about it. Should be about 2 or 3 seconds. Will I go sub 2? This is the session to find out. Oh my God, yes. I feel so cool. did it. We did it, dude. Yes. Oh my God.
What do you need?
I want my sticker.
Oh.
I went sub 2.
Sub 2? Yeah, boy.
We did it. We did it, boys. This is a tradition here at Button Willow. Finally did it with this car. Very happy to be doing it. Now let's go put some big brakes on. All right, we did it. We sub 2'd. Every time feels like the first time. I've done it in so many different cars, but it's especially satisfying to do it in my own car. This lap was so much nicer to drive than on the Yokohamas. These tires are just much grippier, way more hooked up. I even think the dampers, which I have some issues with personally, I'm not a big fan of the spring rates and such. They started working a lot better with this style of tire. They're very different sorts of tires, so we did it. That's all I could say. We did it. All right, just got done with the Hoosier lap, taking a little break, but we do have one last mod to do. That's the Brembos. The mod I was most excited about. The only issue is we have 2 hours left in this track day. I knew it was ambitious going in, but right now we're up against time, but I'm just so thrashed, so I had to sit down for a second, but I think it's time. We gotta get moving. Come on. Okay, so now I gotta take Steven's wheels and tires back off and go back to mine, because 2 things. He needs them back, and they're his, and these won't fit my new Brembos. Like nothing ever happened to him. All right, Brembo big brakes. We have to be careful with this box because the heart and soul of racing can pop out at any time. But within the box is 3 boxes that make me really happy. Here is your rotor. Let's turn it to the side. Pop it open. See how big this guy is. Watch this, dude. Massive, massive rotor. Finally, this is the heart of the Pista kit, they call this, is the FF6 6-piston caliper. Look at that, gorgeous finish. Brembo, 6 pistons. They gave me some race pads. These pads are from my friends at Counterspace Garage. They match with my rear set. They're a little less aggressive than what Brembo gave me. Still very good brake pads, so let's slap this bad boy on, dude. Mind you, viewer, all of this is hot. Got off the track like 15 minutes ago. Those are brake pads that are working hard. Caliper bracket next. Just a 19 mil back here. Let me just keep hitting the car. There you go. Just make sure the car knows who's boss. One cool thing about the BRZ is you notice the hub is aluminum. BRZ only. GR86 does not get that. So this is the caliper bracket. These calipers don't just bolt on mainly because they're aftermarket, so Brembo uses these, and most aftermarket big brake companies use these to adapt it to the cars. So on this particular car, it actually goes, if I remember right, goes behind there, and you bolt through. It's reverse to the stock style. It's a little strange, but it's because the brakes are so much bigger than stock and needs the clearance. Brembo doesn't call a torque spec out for these. I'm just gonna torque them down nice and snug, probably about 105 according to my arm. But these nuts, these up here, are not reusable, and you have to torque them to 68 pound-feet. There you go. This is the mad rush now. So we're gonna go to the other side. I'm just gonna hustle on it, all right? Can I get a time check, please? We need to get a fucking move on or we're gonna lose the shop, dude. I guess that's it.
Sorry, bro.
I don't get to try my Pista kit today.
Not today.
Damn. I'm exhausted. Okay, let me clear the grid. Well, we didn't make it. It was a whole lot of work for a whole lot of nothing.
Let's do one slightly less despondent take.
I am despondent, dude. I just busted my ass and got nowhere. But we still sub 2 today. That's what matters. But it's time to load it up and let's talk. So I thrashed my heart out, and I got turned away at the line. I've been doing this a while. I've felt the highs and lows, and this is one of the lows. But we still sub-2'd. There's still a positive to take away from this. And they look sick. So as far as what we learned from the mods, we started today with a 206.3 stock, 206-ish. Went to a 203 with the Yokohamas and a 159.2 with the Hoosiers. That's a huge improvement. 6 seconds is unbelievable. So these mods definitely made a difference, especially like the seat. I was so much more comfortable. Even these tires are just easier and better to drive on than the Michelins, who were not team players because they delaminated. Car's in a better place. I'm really excited to see where it'll go. So there was an improvement, but there's a lot more in the tank with this car. These things can go pretty quick. I wasn't happy with a few things. I'm not happy with the dampers, and despite the feel of the Yokohamas, they're not grippy enough for what I'm looking for. So we're definitely gonna come back with better dampers, better tires, and we're gonna test these Brembos to their limit. For that, you're gonna have to stay tuned.
On the next episode of the BRZ series, we're going to test these brakes to the maximum, we're going to test new suspension from Nitron, and new tires to see how much faster we can go over our jank setup that we have today. See you next time.